Hi, I'm Wycliffe Barrett. This is Xplane Dedicated. We're in South Wales. The weather's not very nice outside, but that doesn't matter. This morning I'm going to talk to you about Xplane 10, obviously, and a couple of things prompted by some questions that I received over the last few days. One of those questions was from Superpilot 9, and another one from Dean Arnold. And Dean Arnold asked, quite simply, is Xplane 10 an add-on, or is it a complete new simulator? And Superpilot 9 was asking about my schedule. Well, the schedule is going to be, over the next few weeks, all going back to basics. It's all going to be about Xplane 10 and the very beginning, and putting it into your computer, installing it on your computer, looking at the file structure, how things work, and then moving on to talking about scenery, and then we're going to be doing the top 5 payware and top 5 freeware. So that's the schedule for the next few weeks. Dean Arnold, his question was really quite simple. Is Xplane 10 an add-on or a total new simulator? And that kind of prompted me to thinking that many of us who are in flight simulation, and have been for a long time, can forget that people are coming to this new. And so sometimes we need to tell you, maybe again, how it all works, how it installs. So that's what this vlog is about. So Xplane 10 is a complete new simulator. It's nothing to do with FSX or Microsoft. It's developed by Austin Mayer at Laminar, who's got a team around him now of some very, very clever people. In my last vlog I said how different Xplane was from FSX, and when it comes to the installation, it's different again. It has an installer like any other software, but what happens when you first put the disk in, it tries to install itself to the desktop, which is highly unusual for any application, and it can install to the desktop, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's quite reasonable, but I prefer not to put anything on the desktop, because anything there is actually using resources. And by the same token, I hate putting stuff in the default location in Windows, which is program files 86 blah blah blah. Let's not put it there either. And the best thing to do is, when you begin the installation, is to try and put it onto a separate hard drive if you've got it, or definitely into its own folder on your hard drive. And so when the installation process starts up, point it to either a spare hard drive or to its own folder. And the easy way to do that is, when it comes up, is just replace whatever is at the beginning of the Xplane stream there, and just put in C or D or E or F. And in fact, if you look at this first graphic here, you can see that my copy of Xplane is in its own hard drive. I created a folder on the hard drive. I named the hard drive Xplane, and I just installed it there. Straightforward. And so, as you can see here on this graphic, Xplane is in its own drive. When you open up the Xplane 10 folder, you'll notice there are lots of other folders inside it: custom scenery, global scenery, aircraft, commercial airliners, plugins, and a number of other folders and files. The ones that you're going to be concerned about over the next few weeks is aircraft, custom scenery, and plugins, and we're going to do vlogs on each of those things. We may do them all together, or it might be separate. Okay, the installation of Xplane can take quite a considerable amount of time, especially if you put all the global scenery on, which, if you have the space, I would advise you do. Global scenery is the terrain mesh, the overlay, and so that's the scenery, autogen, lights, everything. The only thing you don't get is airports, detailed airports. There are some default ones, not many, but just a few, but that's because you can get freeware scenery, and we're going to do a big thing on freeware scenery, and there's a lot of explanation to do about freeware scenery, so I will be doing a big blog on that. Okay, so I put a couple of graphics up. I hope you've been able to follow along in how Xplane looks when it's on your PC. And so in the next vlog we'll start talking about installation of software, scenery, aircraft and plugins, especially plugins, because this is a new concept. You will have heard it if you've dealt with Linux or anything else, or even with making apps for Apple or whatever. You will have heard the phrase plugins, so we will talk about that in some detail. So I hope the film has been useful. If I went too fast, let me know. Leave comments, don't forget, and you can see the live stream on www.twitch.tv/Wycliffe Barrett, and of course YouTube here is youtube.com/WycliffeB. And I hope you found the film useful, and we'll see you again. Bye bye.